The FBI showed up at my parents' house on a Tuesday morning. 2 agents, dark suits, badges. My mother called me, hysterical, couldn't breathe, couldn't form sentences. My father took the phone. His voice was hollow. "They're asking about the money," he said. "All of it. The money they'd given my sister. Their entire retirement. $470,000. Gone. And I was the only one who'd tried to stop it. My name is Rachel. I'm 35, the oldest of 2 daughters. My sister Brooke is 31, and for as long as I can remember, she's been the center of everything. Not because she earned it, but because she demanded it. And my parents always gave in. When we were kids, Brooke threw tantrums, real ones, screaming, throwing things, holding her breath until she turned red. My parents would panic, give her whatever she wanted, a new toy, ice cream for dinner, permission to skip school. I learned early, if you stay quiet, you get ignored. If you scream, you get everything. I never screamed, so I got nothing. When I was 17, I wanted to go on a school trip to Washington, D.C. It cost $300. I'd saved half of it from my part-time job at the library. I asked my parents to help with the rest. My dad looked at me over his newspaper. "That's a lot of money, Rachel. We'll think about it." They never brought it up again. I didn't go on the trip. That same year, Brooke wanted a car for her 16th birthday. Not just any car, a Volkswagen Beetle, powder blue. My parents bought it, tied a bow on top, surprised her in the driveway. She cried happy tears. They took pictures, posted them on Facebook. I watched from my bedroom window. When I graduated high school, my parents gave me a card, $50 inside, for college supplies, my mom said. When Brooke graduated, they threw her a party, rented a tent, hired a caterer, invited 100 people. I helped set up the tables. I went to college on scholarships and student loans, worked 2 jobs, graduated in 4 years with a degree in accounting, got a job at a mid-size firm, worked my way up, paid off my loans by the time I was 30, bought a small house, nothing fancy, but it was mine. Brooke went to college for 2 semesters, partied more than she studied, failed most of her classes, dropped out. My parents were disappointed, but not angry. "College isn't for everyone," my mom said. Brooke moved back home, stayed for 3 years, didn't work, didn't pay rent, slept until noon. My parents didn't push her. "She's figuring things out," my dad said. I visited once a month, helped with yard work, fixed their computer, brought groceries. Brooke was always in her room or out with friends. She never said thank you, never acknowledged I was there, and my parents never asked her to. When I was 32, my dad had a health scare, a minor stroke. He recovered, but it shook him, made him think about mortality, about what would happen to my mom if something happened to him. He started talking about retirement planning, about making sure everything was in order. I offered to help. I'm an accountant. It's literally what I do. He said he'd think about it. Brooke, at this point, was 28. She'd moved out of my parents' house 2 years earlier, was living with her boyfriend, Tyler. Tyler was a type, talked big, delivered small, always had a business idea that was going to make him rich. None of them ever went anywhere. Brooke worked part-time at a boutique, complained about it constantly. My parents still helped her, paid her car insurance, sent her money for groceries, covered her phone bill. I didn't say anything. It wasn't my business, even though I was paying for everything myself, had been since I was 18. Then Tyler proposed. Brooke was ecstatic. She called my mom immediately, started planning the wedding that same day. She wanted everything: a venue on the water, a designer dress, a live band, an open bar. My parents said yes to all of it. I asked my mom, quietly, how they were planning to pay for it. She waved me off. "We have savings, Rachel. Let us enjoy this." The wedding cost $60,000. I know because Brooke posted every detail on Instagram, every upgrade, every addition, every indulgence. I was a bridesmaid. I paid for my own dress, my own hair and makeup, my own travel. Brooke never asked how much it cost me. She just assumed I'd do it. The wedding was beautiful, I'll give her that, but watching my parents write check after check, it made my stomach hurt. A year after the wedding, Tyler's big idea finally came, a cryptocurrency investment opportunity. He'd met a guy, the guy had a system, guaranteed returns, 10% monthly, sometimes more. Tyler was convinced this was it, the thing that would make them rich. He just needed capital. Brooke went to my parents, told them about the opportunity, how it was a sure thing, how they could all benefit. My dad was skeptical, my mom was nervous, but Brooke kept pushing. "This is our chance," she said. "You always said you wanted to help us get ahead. This is how." My parents called me, asked what I thought. I told them the truth. It sounds like a scam. Guaranteed returns? Monthly? That's not how legitimate investments work. If it sounds too good to be true, it is. My dad sighed. "Brooke says you're just jealous, that you don't want to see her succeed." I went quiet. "Dad, I'm an accountant. This is what I do. I'm telling you this is dangerous." He thanked me for my input, and then he ignored it. 2 months later, my mom called. Her voice was tight. "We gave Brooke and Tyler some money to invest." My chest tightened. "How much?" Silence. "Mom, how much?" 50,000. I closed my eyes. $50,000. Half of what I knew they had in savings. "Mom." "It's done, Rachel. Please don't lecture me." She hung up. I tried to let it go, told myself it was their money, their choice, but I couldn't stop thinking about it. $50,000 gone into some stranger's cryptocurrency scheme. 3 months later, Brooke called my parents again. The investment was doing great. They'd already made money. Tyler's contact wanted to expand, needed more investors. This was the time to go big, to really capitalize. My parents were hesitant, but Brooke was convincing. "You've already seen returns," she said. "This is real. Don't you trust me?" They gave her another 100,000, then another 50, then the rest. Their entire retirement savings, $470,000, everything they'd worked for, 40 years of saving, gone, into my sister's hands. I found out 3 weeks later. My mom let it slip during a phone call. I felt like I'd been punched in the stomach. "Mom, you gave her everything?" "Rachel, stop. This is a good thing. We're going to double our money, maybe triple. We'll be fine." I wanted to scream, but I didn't. I just said, "I hope you're right," and I hung up. For 6 months, everything seemed fine. Brooke posted pictures on social media, new clothes, expensive dinners, a weekend in Miami. My parents were thrilled. "See," my mom said, "she's doing well." I didn't respond. Then the calls stopped coming. Brooke stopped answering, stopped posting. My mom started to worry. "Have you heard from your sister?" "No, Mom. Why would I?" If you've ever watched someone you love make a terrible mistake and felt completely powerless to stop them, you know this feeling. The FBI showed up on a Tuesday, 6 months and 2 weeks after my parents gave Brooke the last of their money. My mom called me at work. I could barely understand her. "Rachel, the FBI, they're here, at the house. They're asking about Brooke, about the money." I left work immediately, drove to their house. My hands were shaking the entire way. When I got there, the agents were still inside. My dad was sitting on the couch. His face was gray. My mom was crying. One of the agents, a woman in her 40s, was calm but firm. She explained. The investment was a Ponzi scheme. Tyler's contact was a man named Jeremy Schaefer. He'd been running the operation for 3 years, targeting middle-class families, promising guaranteed returns, using new investors' money to pay off old investors, creating the illusion of profit. It had just collapsed. $30 million. Gone. Hundreds of victims. Brooke and Tyler weren't masterminds. They were victims too, but they'd also recruited others, brought in friends, family, coworkers. My parents' money,
It had gone straight to Jeremy, and Jeremy was gone. The agent looked at my parents with something close to pity. "We'll do what we can," she said, "but in cases like this, recovery is rare. Most of the money is offshore, untraceable." My mom's face crumpled. My dad just stared at the floor. I stood in the doorway, numb. After the agents left, I sat with my parents. No one spoke for a long time. Finally, my dad looked at me. "You tried to warn us." His voice broke. "I know." My mom wiped her eyes. "What are we going to do, Rachel? We have nothing. The house is paid off, but we can't retire now. We'll have to keep working." She was 63. My dad was 67. I wanted to say, "I told you so." I wanted to scream, to ask them why they'd chosen her over common sense, over me. But I didn't, because they were broken, and adding to their pain wouldn't fix anything. "We'll figure it out," I said, even though I didn't know how. Brooke finally called my mom 2 days later. She was sobbing, said she didn't know, that Tyler had handled everything, that she thought it was real. My mom wanted to believe her. I could see it in her eyes, but I wasn't sure I did. Tyler disappeared, left Brooke, ran. The FBI was looking for him, but he was in the wind. Brooke moved back in with my parents. She had nowhere else to go. I visited the following weekend. Brooke was in the living room. She looked at me, red eyes, swollen face. "I'm sorry," she whispered. I didn't respond. I just walked past her. My parents couldn't retire. My dad went back to work part-time at the hardware store where he'd worked for 30 years. My mom took a job at the grocery store, nights and weekends. They were exhausted, humiliated. Brooke stayed with them for 4 months. She got a job waitressing, started seeing a therapist. She apologized, over and over. My parents forgave her. Of course they did. I didn't. Not right away.
I started helping my parents financially, sent them money every month, covered their utilities, paid for my mom's medication. They didn't ask, but they didn't refuse either. I could afford it, barely, but I did it, because they needed help, and I couldn't just watch them struggle. Brooke found out. She called me. "You don't have to do that," she said. "I'm helping them now too." "I know," I said, "but I'm doing it anyway." Silence. "Rachel, I really am sorry." "I know you are, but sorry doesn't give them their retirement back." I hung up. Jeremy Schaefer was arrested 8 months later, in the Bahamas, trying to board a flight to Panama. He was extradited, faced federal charges, pled guilty, got 20 years. The victims were offered a settlement, pennies on the dollar. My parents got back $18,000 out of $470,000, less than 4%. My mom cried when the check came, not because she was happy, but because it was so little, and it was final. The money was really gone. It's been 2 years now. My parents are still working. They're tired, but they're surviving. Brooke moved out 6 months ago, got her own apartment. She's doing better. Rebuilt her life slowly. She and I talk sometimes. It's not the same. It might never be, but we're trying. My parents and I are complicated. They're grateful for my help, but there's also shame, because they didn't listen, and they know it. I don't bring it up. I just keep helping because they're my parents, and despite everything, I love them. Here's what I learned. You can't save people from themselves, no matter how much you warn them, no matter how much you know. If they're determined to believe something, they will. And sometimes the people who ignore your advice the most are the ones who need you the most when it all falls apart. If you've ever been the person who was right, but no one listened, type "unheard" in the comments. You're not alone, and being right doesn't make it hurt less. My parents gave my sister everything, and she lost it all. Not because she was malicious, but because she was reckless, and they enabled it. I can't get their money back. I can't turn back time. But I can be here, even when it's hard, even when I'm angry. Because family isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up, even after everything falls apart. And maybe that's the hardest lesson of all.